friends, Shawn here with Manly Made Minute, and welcome back to my channel. So happy you are here. Today I'm so excited. I'm doing my first video after launch of the Desiree Tangles new fall release and her holiday release, and I did a technique on that video. You have to go back and watch my first video where I did the holiday and fall release and showed a plethora of cards. And I did a technique which was kind of this rainbow and bleeding down technique, and I loved it so much I got to do it again. And I'm kind of into lately, I've done another video here recently about just inspiration. I did a holiday card with some inspiration I saw on an ad. I saw something similar on Pinterest that I want to replicate, and then I thought, these stamps that she had for these leaves are perfect to do this. And it's kind of the reverse of a torn paper technique that I've done. We've all seen them. We've all done them. Everybody, there's plenty of videos on YouTube for them too. And you'll see what I mean when I go down to the table here just to explain it. So we're going to use the holiday leaves. We're going to do some watercoloring because, yes, that's my new addiction with Tim Holtz watercolor pencils. And hopefully just come out with a really cool kind of card here when we're done. So before I go down to my table, if you are new here and haven't subscribed, would love to have you as a subscriber and hang with me. I do plenty of videos. Every Monday I do a Monday Moment, tips, tricks, and helpful hints. Every other Saturday I have a scrappy short. And then I do videos like these where I do releases and things for on 2 design teams. And I also just try to make a card with anything I have in between there, and just share as I learn, and I'm just having fun. So hopefully you stick around, hopefully you come back and subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram, Manly Made Minute on Instagram. Would love to have you follow there as well. So let's go down and take a look at what I'm going to do here today, and let's have some fun. All right? Okay, here's what I have. This is the Desiree Tangles fall release, and this one is her leaves, and I'm not sure, oh, it's right here, a tangled leaves. Everything she does has that Zentangle kind of theme with it, and she's fabulous at it. Go check her out. Desiree Tangles at Include a Thank You is her tag as well on YouTube. She does amazing stuff. She's a great artist, great stamps. These are really good quality polymer stamps. So we're going to use this stamp set today. And then I have got out my Tim Holtz watercolored pencils that we're going to use. And I've already kind of prepped up my card front. I am using watercolor paper this time around because I am going to do some good water on this. And this is the Canson XL watercolor paper. What I've done is I lined this up on my mat, and then I have taped off, you know, by lining up the lines across with my tape using 3M Post-it tape. So this is 1-inch tape. All right, so I've done 2 layers. I haven't laid it side by side, so this isn't 2 inches. I've overlapped it by about 1/4 of an inch. So this is probably like 1 3/4 inches roughly wide. And if I get this up close, you'll be able to see kind of how wide this is on my paper. Okay, now here is what we're going to do, and I just love this technique. You've got to see the card on my other video that I did for Desiree's release party, because it uses her Zentangle garden stamp set, which is so cool, and it looks so cool with this technique. So hopefully this turns out the same, and it's just as cool. I'm hoping. All right, here's what we're going to do. I have pulled my colors I want to use already. So I have pulled out aged mahogany, mustard seed, rusty hinge, and pine needles. Okay? And I'm going to do this in 2 sections. I'm going to do this bottom section, and then I'm going to do the top section. I'm not going to do them combined so that this doesn't run all over on me when I do this. Then you're going to need a heat tool of some sort because we're going to have to dry in between on each color, because I'm not going to do all the colors at the same time. It just works to do 1 color at a time, but crazy, crazy easy technique. Okay? So I'm gonna put these in the order that I want, and I don't want this too Christmassy, so I'm gonna keep my red and my green apart. All right, I'm gonna start with my aged mahogany, and when I do this technique, I go on opposite sides of the paper and dry, and work my way in so that it's not next to each other and doesn't get too muddy on me. All right, here's what you're gonna do. My watercolor pencil, aged mahogany, right up against this tape. in as wide as I want, as put as much of the color as each color you want. So if you want them even colored, mask it out and measure it out. I'm not too crazy on having it, perfectly even. So I'm gonna scribble underneath this tape and get some good color down here. And I'm kind of sticking up towards the top. I don't need to scribble down. I'm gonna get the water to run when I do this, okay? Okay, it's pretty solid. Like if you look at this, let me zoom in just a little bit so you can see. I got good color there. And I'll just stay zoomed in here now so you guys can kind of see this close up. Now what I'm gonna do is I have my water here. I have just a cheapo watercolor paintbrush. Nothing fancy here, okay? We ain't fancy in this household. All right. Now, I'm going to get good amount of water. I'm not going to pull this off and get a semi-thirsty brush. I want this wet. I want water, okay? Because I use the word melt. I feel that when this color melts so nice, so creamy, but I need it to run, okay? So, wet. Now, I'm going to melt this down, okay? And now, I'm going to scribble a little, because remember, where water is, water will run, okay? Now, I'm going to pick this up, and I want this to run off, okay? I want this drippy look, okay? I'm going to dry. Now, if that washed out for you too much, dry it, and you can always add more. Or, and let me do that really quick just to show you, or I can go brush to pencil. Okay, so I'm going to get this wet. I'm going to go brush to pencil and pick up color. Now remember, this color is pigmented. It picks up. Okay? So I could scribble some more in here, get wet now, and then let this run. Remember, where that water was, it will pick up and run. Okay, so I'm going to let this run down. Now you can see it's darker for me, and I like that actually. So I'm going to dry. Now what I do is I tip it back a little bit so that all my drips don't pool and puddle, so I can keep some of that color towards that back edge as this dries. Because then I don't have to dab off and get too much pulled off if I dab it off with my paper towel. If that makes sense. All right. Good enough, because I'm now going to go to the other side of my paper here. I got some color down here, so I just want to pick this up so I'm not getting... I am that person that it sticks to my fingers, and then I get it all over. You can kind of see I've already got some drips over here, but that's okay, because I'll cover that up. And you'll see how. All right, now I'm going to go over here with my yellow, and I'm going to do the same thing now. I'm going to scribble right at that line of my tape. I'm getting some good color down here. It's nice and thick on there, okay? Rinse out your brush so you don't get that red now in there. Okay, keep it good and wet. Melt that color down and then pull that out in like a nice little scribble like it's been dripping. Okay, let that drip down. And I'm going to pull just a little bit more right here. Get a little bit more water in there so I get that drippy kind of look. Okay, and dry. If this bleeds under my tape, that's okay, because I'm gonna do a little color on the inside there, and you'll see what we're gonna do. We're gonna make some little silhouettes inside there. Dry this up, because I don't want bleeding now between the two. Because remember, where water is, water will run, and I don't want this to run into my next color. So I dry that up. Okay, I'm going to come back over here, and now I'm going to use, I'm going to actually go Rusty Hinge against this. I'm going to change my order on you. Now I'm using my pine needles. Okay, same thing. just rinse that out. Good and wet. I'm not pulling the water off. Melt down my color. Okay, get my drips going. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull a little bit more into that actually, just because I want some pigment in there. All right. Let that pull down. Dry that up so they don't pool together. All right, now we're going to go to my rusty hinge over here. And then same thing, and I just want this to run. And actually, I think I'm okay with that intensity of that color, actually. All right. So that's that side. Now we're going to do the exact same thing on this side. I'm going to go opposites because I got splatter of red over here, so I'm just going to cover it up, to be honest. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to start here and get some of that down. Same thing. I'm going to put a little bit more intensity into that. Okay. Now I'm going to let that drip down. I got to pull that one little edge just a little bit to get that to come down here. There we go. This is just giving you that drippy paint kind of effect. Okay. And I'm going to come over on this side now and do the yellow on this side. If your water gets too dirty, you may need to rinse it out and get some clean water. And now you're going to have two sets of stamps here. I'm using some tree silhouettes, not from Desiree Tangles, but I'm using the Desiree Tangle leaves, which is what we're going to stamp over what we just watercolored here before we peel that tape. So you're not going to want to pull that tape right away. Now I'm going to come back over here with my green. We're just going to intensify that a little bit. You can kind of see some of my splatter, but I'm just working on trying to cover that up anyway. Okay. Tap those drips down a little bit. Sorry, I didn't realize I was zoomed. I forgot I was zoomed in, and I probably keep going off camera here a little bit. Apologize for that. Now my rusty hinge, my last one right here in the middle. just pull some more intensity into that as well, just to keep some good color in there. All right, dry this last one. So this is going to be the end of my drippies. And you want to make sure now you got this part good and dry because you're going to stamp it. Now I'm going to grab some of these leaves. Idea here is to just get the tips of these leaves overlaying into that. So I'm going to do these two on this side, like so. Okay. Magnet that down. Pick those up. All right. Now, you could do a couple different things here. I could distress ink this, lightly mist it, and lay it down so I get this little bleedy kind of look. I could go just regular ink. I could go black. I'm actually going to go more of a brown, and so I am pulling out, I'm using Catherine Pooler Cargo on this one because I want some brown tones into this. Now I'm just doing the tips because if I do this whole leaf, it's going to stamp down here where I don't want it right now. So I'm just doing the tips of these leaves. Okay. And then just press that in. Give it a good press so that you get over that edge of the tape too. Okay. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. All right, now I'm going to rotate. And I don't want the same leaves, so I'm going to remove, let's see, I think I'm going to remove this one. So I'm just going to clean this all off for right now. Okay. But because this just has this little curly Q on that tip, I want a little bit more of that. So I'm going to rotate it so I get more of the rounded portion of that leaf with that curlicue. Like so. Okay. And again, just that top portion so I don't stamp over this stuff down here. And give it a good push to get over that edge of the tape. And there you have it. I'm going to give this a little shot to dry that before I peel my tape. Now I'm going to gently peel my tape. It is low tack, so it shouldn't tear, but if you push it in too much, it might just tear a little bit. Okay, now here's what we have so far. Great card so far, right? And I knew I was going to get some bleeding, but that's okay, because I'm going to bleed this up now the other way just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit is what I want to do. Okay? So, here's what we're going to do to bleed this in just a little bit. I am not going to go all of these colors again. I could, actually, if I'm trying to decide what I want to do now. No, I think I'm just going to go my greens and my rust. So, I'm going to go green, like so, and then my rusty hinge, like so. Okay, I've got my clean water. All right, now I'm going to wet this up to that color, and then I'm going to start grabbing that color so it seeps into my wet. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wet here and just pull up just slightly. Okay, just slightly. Now I'm going to work up into that, and you'll see it'll start pulling into where I wet. And I'm just working right up to that line where that tape was. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull out just a little bit more color. Like so. And then I'm going to get it a little wet so it just drips down into where I have that water. And now dry. This will make sense here on this second set of stamps, I promise. Okay, I'm going to do my rusty hinge over on this side. So I'm going to wet this and just give myself a drip line. And then I'm going to pull this in. Okay, then I'm going to let that drip to my drip line. And dry. This will make sense, I promise. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with my green. I'm going to wet and then pull where I need some dripping. Okay, and now work out that green. Remember, wet attracts to wet, so it'll pull into it. And you can see now, if I tip it, it'll drip down to where I pulled my wet. Okay, and dry. And my last little piece of green over here in the corner. Wet, give myself a drip line, pull that in. And then give yourself a little extra water so that runs down to your drip line. And pull that off just a little bit. Okay, good and dry. I'm going to grab a clean piece of tape. I'm just going to line up my edge. Like so. And now I'm just going to grab some ink blending. I'm grabbing my orange and my yellow. Pardon me, my yellow. And my yellow is relatively new, so it doesn't have. I'm going to use what I have on here for orange. And I'm going to lightly ink blend the top edge of this with what I have on my brush already for my orange. And I'm going to kind of round it on these corners. What I'm trying to do here, it'll make sense, is create a sky. Okay? Now I'm going to pull in some yellow. Ooh, I got that. I forgot I'm glad I did that. I forgot I re-inked these, so that was juicy. Okay? Now just lightly on the rest of this. Little juicy. Hopefully that blends out. I'm going to probably give myself a little orange over the top of that. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mask this off so that I can do some off stamping. Like so. So this one here, I just want the tip of that tree here. We're going to go this one kind of up in here. And let's see, I need a distancy kind of one, so we're going to just put this one right up in here. Just like so. Okay? And now I'm going to use my same color as my leaves on these, that cargo. So this was just inspiration off of Pinterest. I can tell you it did not look like this. This is just my interpretation of it. And I might be a one and done with my stamp, I think, because that stamped pretty nice. Okay. I've cut my background cardstock. This is 5 1/4 by 4 1/4, just slightly cut under that. And now I'm just going to distress these edges, just to deepen that edge up so it's not quite so orangey. Just to mute that out just a little bit. So this is walnut stain, and then I'm just going to use a little bit of the scorched timber. And for the scorched timber, I'm just going to lightly tap down so I just get the edge. Okay. Don't need a ton of color for that one. All right. Let's put this down. Alright, so again, I use Canson XL watercolored paper. I taped this off and I did the drip down edge first. Then I taped it, did the inside drip just to get, what I was trying to do was just give that color of trees behind the trees with that orange and yellow sky. Okay, so this was to mimic the trees, and then my silhouettes over the top of that is my thought process of why I did what I did. Alright, let me just flatten that down. I'm going to take the greeting off of Desiree's set that just says Autumn Greetings. Actually, Grateful, because I love the script of this Grateful. No, I don't, because it's too big. It's too big. I'm going to do Autumn Greetings. I try to use that Grateful as much as I possibly can because I love the script of it. Okay, we're back. I've embossed my greeting on orange. I distressed it. Then I just torn and distressed those edges just to give it a little texture. I just like lots of texture on my cards. So we will glue this down. I've just added a little stamp of the corner of that leaf in the same cargo color. And let's just lay this down and get this on my card front. Like so. Then we will pop this up on those dimensionals. pop that right down here. I think we're going to go kind of in between and center that. Like so. There you have it. We have a nice, beautiful fall scene with some tree silhouettes, and then these leaves from the Zentangle, Zentangled leaves set by Desiree Tangles. So let me just zoom in here so you can kind of see this nice and uptight and close. Again, watercolored pencils, drip techniques on either side, dripped it on the inside this direction to kind of give it the look of what those trees would, colors of those trees would be, with my orange and yellow sky. And then just a little stamp on the inside just to carry that into the inside. All right, there you have it. Thank you all so much for hanging with me. Hopefully this inspires you and gives you some ideas. You gotta check out Desiree Tangles' Zentangled Fall Leaves, brand new release. Go back and check my release video with a ton of ideas with this one and her holiday set. I'll have some holiday videos coming up for her holiday sets. But here you have a beautiful fall card. This could be a thank you card, autumn greetings card, a hello card, you name it. And then I put those leaves around the edges, and then my silhouette of my trees on the inside from another set. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button. Give me that thumbs up that you like this video. And I'll put all the links to these products in the description below. And go check out our holiday set as well at Desiree Tangles. So, until next time. I'll see you then.